Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. Today we have a model I stumbled across that was right up my alley, and those are the Crimson Hunters from Comet Lord Miniatures. So I really dig the whole Bloodborne vibe, and it's a style that we really don't see a whole lot on the tabletop, but Comet Lord seems to really be kind of putting out some stuff that really goes into that Soulsborne type vein of, kind of grotesque body horror, Victorian Gothic, I don't know, evil action games. I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but it's got its own unique look. So we've got these masked hunters, the Crimson Hunters, and they have a pair of blades, kind of like Geralt and the Witchers, was my first thought. And they got these really ornate masks, and it's hard to see right now because obviously the details are kind of blurred out by a lack of any color there. So I'm going to get these guys primed up in a little bit, and hopefully that can look a little bit better and you won't see all the horrible scarring on the back. But the nice thing is there's actually 4 different poses. So while that one may be my favorite, we've got the typical dude with the sword over his shoulder, our investigative friend here. And again, you can see what a terrible print job I've done so far. It's going to need a lot of cleaning, unfortunately. And then we have our friend getting ready to use his smaller sword instead of the big one, and I don't know why. Now, one real annoying thing is the fact that these models have the bases attached to them. I'm not a big fan. You may not have a problem with that, but it kind of irks me. And it's interesting to note that a lot of the other Comet Lord models that I have printed do not have that issue. So maybe this is just an early model, but still, they got the style that I really like. So give me a sec. I'm going to spray these guys up, and we'll see if we can have the detail pop a little bit more, and we'll see how they stack up to some of the other models we've got laying around here. So sit tight. All right, we got our hunters all primed up here, and on the one hand, it really helps the details become a lot more apparent. You can see there's some really nice detail work, and again, they really remind me of something out of Bloodborne. Obviously, I did paint one, I'll show you guys in a sec. It also helps bring out all the blemishes and terrible auto support job I did putting supports on there. I feel a little bit more confident in my own supports now. I would totally do these guys all over again, and I might just do that. Maybe flip them and mirror them and slice off the bases. This one annoys me because you can see I did not do a great job on his hand there, but I really do like the overall look. And again, it's a very Soulsborne-esque style, and it's unfortunately something we don't see a lot of on the tabletop. I'll set those 3 to the side, and I'll bring up my painted guy here. Now, obviously, despite the Crimson Hunter's name, he's not wearing crimson, but I figure, you know what, that's okay. We'll let his friends. Again, that way you can really see. Maybe if I went with a lot more blacks and grays, we'd have a lot more of a Bloodborne type hunter. This gives me a bit of a Witcher vibe too with those extra swords. But if you're curious how they stack up with other models, again, I printed these at just regular size. I didn't tinker with them any, but they are perfect if you want to use them with old Warhammer stuff. If you want to use them with Frostgrave, I think they'd fit in really nice. Or any of the North Star stuff, obviously. We're having another North Star human from Oathmark. What else do we have handy? We should have a Mantic guy around here somewhere. Yeah, we do. So if you wanted to use them like in a Basilian Vanguard warband, I think they might be actually kind of cool choices for that. I do believe they have some kind of a Inquisitor High Paladin type, so that might be a fun choice. Other stuff like Conquest, I don't think they're going to fit in without you tinkering with the scales, obviously. And again, I think if you blow it up maybe, 20% or something, about 115, 120%, I think they'd fit in actually pretty nicely if you wanted to use those in some kind of a skirmish game altogether. I'm kind of leaning towards doing that just because it's a little bit easier to paint, and I dig the scale. I like the larger stuff. And again, the thing is, they really are very Soulsborne-esque. So if you have monsters like this, and they did a whole range of vampires and vampire supporters I think you really could almost do a full-on, you know, Yardim or whatever the city was called, RPG style game. So definitely take a look at their stuff. There are a lot of interesting models. Unfortunately, they seem to be heading more lately into typical RPG character tropes, but that's more what everybody seems to be voting for on their monthly polls, so I can't fault them for that. But they do keep making interesting monsters, so that's something that we always enjoy. So definitely a cool little kit, and for the price, I gotta say Comet Lord has a lot of very reasonably priced kits out there. So if you do have access to a 3D printer and you don't mind fiddling around with STL files and doing a better job of supporting them than I did, I think these hunters and some of the other monsters that Comet Lord has, you can definitely do some very interesting games with. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. Say thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.